actually doing pretty nice. Pedro Porro landed in London I think an hour ago. He's supposed to be landing in London any minute now. What a time to be a Spurs fan, am I right? What's up, Mark Swift? Hit that like and sub. Do as Mark Swift says. Hit that like, hit that sub. Let me also say what is up to the Patreon members. They might be checking in and popping out later. We might see it. But either way, big up Alan Sibley, 10-inch himself. And in the 10-inch club, we got Goguma, Leah Coys, and C. Sherman. Big up yourself. And the official supporters, Scott M., James George, Jacob, David, Aaron Dubb, Jamie, and Jack Kanicki. And then the Lover's Lane of our Patreon members, we got Bobby K, Gina Kim, Tom Markin, and Colin, and C Cubed. I'll put the link in the chat. It's in the description of this video. If you would like to become a Patreon member of this channel as well, hit that link. Head on over. Choose your club. And yeah, we can get down to the business of it. Let me not take too much longer and welcome in Kieran from Spurs After Dark. How are you doing, my friend? And I hope you're doing well. How do you feel about this Porro news?
Doing well, and yeah, obviously relieved, glad that it's finally signed, sealed, delivered. You know, happy that it's done, and let's see what happens with the rest of the window with deadline day, and hopefully we get a center back in. But wouldn't bet on it.
I would like to, if that's not asking for too much. I would like to. What's up, Rob? Late show, early show, depends, I guess, on what side of the globe you're on. But big up, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. Full bull breaking. Pedro Porro deals off again. Oh no! Don't tease me, Mr. Full Bull, or should I say, half cow? I think that's what I was calling you. Half cow. You always call me Mike, so I figured I'd call you the opposite of what your name is. Big up yourself. What's up, Mark Swift? Jacob with his sexy man hair. Oh, thank you so much. Big up, Rob. Kieran, what are you thinking? With this Pedro Porro, is he going to be all that and then some? Is he going to be... I
mean,
I already put him in my FIFA team, but like that don't mean much.
I mean, I've seen the guy play quite a bit in researching him and just watching a lot of his, him in different games, and he's, I mean, in the Portuguese league, the dude is an absolute monster. Just his crossing ability is incredible, and for me, that's something that he shouldn't have much trouble translating to the Premier League. He's going to end up getting in the same positions, and as long as he's up to the task mentally, I think then he's going to perform for us for sure. There are some areas of his game you worry a little bit about physicality. I mean, he is an aggressive player, but in the Portuguese league, how does he stack up to the physicality of the Premier League and his defensive ability, which is not the best, but again, he's playing wing back and attacking wing back at that. And he can't be much worse than, say, Matt Doherty. So, I think he'll be fine. But yeah, if you look at his stats, I mean, he's one of the top producing wing backs, full backs in Europe, attacking wise. He's 99th percentile on all attacking stats, basically. Among fullbacks and wingbacks in Europe, he's up there. He's one of the top 5 in terms of producers from that position. So, I mean, I don't know if he'll get the exact same numbers in the Premier League, especially not right away. I think there will be a transition period, bedding in period. That usually tends to be the case with players coming into the Premier League for the first time. But man, I think he's got the quality, and I think he's going to be exactly what we need. I just wish the deal had gotten done earlier in the window, so now that we could maybe be able to focus on signing a center back. I mean, we'll see what happens on deadline day, but Either way, you got to be happy about this one. I mean, again, even if it took a long time, even if we struggled, just got to enjoy it for now because I feel like this guy is going to be the real deal.
I do hope so. I hope he is the real deal. Colin is in the back. I brought him in. He said no talkie, so I don't know what that's supposed to mean. This is a big point I want to bring up as well. Chelsea just got João Felix for the next 15 games after his suspension, so I think we get to play Chelsea one more time, right? Or is it two?
Yeah.
Once or twice more. I'm about to look it up.
Once more. We already played Chelsea. So.
Oh, that's right. The Thomas Tuchel handshake moment. Lest we forget.
And yeah, there's definitely going to be some songs sung in the terraces. In the South Stand, they're going to be singing. He shagged your wife or something when we play Chelsea, because it'll be at home the next Chelsea game. So,
well, they got plenty of time to come up with something creative as well.
I think it's probably just gonna be Pedro Porro. He shagged your wife. It's something like that.
Big up, Ron. Ron says Pedro Porro deal wasn't off at all. I think the story was all bullshit. Levy wanted his ass saved, so he put his name in the negotiations and acted like the savior.
Yeah,
that's a pretty weak move. If that's like
the PR thing is ridiculous.
But either way, no matter what side of the argument you're on, I don't think that pushes the needle any. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, nobody likes dealing with fucking Daniel Levy. And it's like the way we went about the deal it is,
Big up, Scott,
evidence that nothing has really changed despite Perisic coming in here. I mean, it's still Daniel Levy policy. It's just not him specifically going out and negotiating, choosing the players and negotiating, except for in the case with Jed Spence, apparently. But we're still hampered by his policies on player age and price and potential sell-on value and this and that and all his stupid little restrictions he places on our transfer business. So
Colin has dropped out of the back. Don't know if you're still there, my friend.
Maybe he's having tech issues.
Yeah, seemed like it. Scott M says no worries about the defensive part of his game. He'll be supported by Dyers, Davies, and Sanchez. Don't remind me. I'm kind of like... I would like to see some outgoings as well. I would like to see some, like, getting these people off the books, right? Am I the only one?
Well, Jed Spence is going on loan to Rennes for the rest of the season, and Brian Hill is going back to Sevilla on loan. And I think there might be a buy option or in that one as well. So they might buy him back from us. Which, like, fair enough. Like, the guy's good enough to where he needs to play. He needs to start at his age. He needs to play somewhere he can start. And if we're not, I just don't know if there's a pathway into this team for him as long as Conte is going to be here. So I feel like some of these decisions suggest that Conte might actually, be here after the season. Some of the things that are happening, I feel like, I wonder if we would have signed Pedro Porro at all if Conte was not going to be here. It doesn't seem like
the Udogie signing
would do.
The Udogie signing to me kind of seemed like a definite Conte thing. Like, oh, I've seen this kid. He's worth shelling out the money, even though he's not going to return anything this season. I mean, whose idea was that signing? If Conte's not going to stay,
probably Perisic. I feel like that's more of a Perisic thing. But Pedro Porro, I mean, this feels like a I mean, he played against the guy, so he probably. I'm sure he watched him play and was like, "Yeah, I'll have him," He isn't the physical archetype that Conte usually likes, but I feel like, the guy's just so fucking good. Like, he's just so good. Like, I can't see Conte not wanting this. I mean, I don't know if it's his idea necessarily, but I'm sure he's like, yeah, he's good enough. You know, I doubt he would feel otherwise. You know.
I don't know. That's the part I guess that I struggle with is like, how do we really know that this is a Conte signing, about a Dici signing? Like, whose signing is this?
Yeah.
Whose signing is this?
It's almost like I can hear you guys and talk to you guys now.
That's very nice. You look like you're in the corner, shagged up, nice and cozy.
Yeah, and ready to talk Spurs with the two sexiest, dumbest people I know.
Wait, what was the second one?
I think he said dumb. Did he say
no?
dumb?
Did he say the dumbest people?
No.
I think he
only regarding Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He takes her baseless.
Well, the chat is talking about center back. I was going to ask you about Porro, but we'll save that for a little later.
I have some Porro stuff, and I meant to add it. So I was literally in the back room of another, like I guess an old show or an upcoming show, and I added stuff to the brand, and I'm going to add it to, I have them all saved. I'm going to add some images. Oh, they're here. That's great. I don't know how that happened. So I got in it before you went live, and it didn't take me live with you. I guess since I don't know, that was weird. Okay. My images are here. But yeah, boy. No, but hey, go.
It looks nice.
Well, just go to the one that's two above that. Like not the one above it, but the next one. You know what that is? That's the plane that Pedro Porro's on landing.
I like that tweet. I seen it on a tweet. I liked it.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, boy.
Wait, I got a banner for this. Pedro, here we go, Porro.
Oh shit.
Oh wait, Pedro, here we go, Porro.
Look at this thing. I can get my face in it at the same time. See if you can get yours in, bud. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Colin, thank you for coming and popping up tonight.
Yeah. I would have popped up earlier, but I thought I was on time.
You were on time in a different room. So you were like at the place, but not. You didn't go to the banquet hall. You know what I mean? You needed to keep walking. Well, how do you feel about Pedro Porro?
How many minutes in are we? Okay, we're enough minutes in. I have basically I'm excited about the guy in all sorts of ways. He's an amazing signing, man. Have you seen? Man, you're drinking water, by the way. I don't know if you guys heard my man's over here just drinking that water.
Did I not mute myself?
It's like glug, 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 glug. Just water, but hydration is important, boys and girls.
Hydration's very important.
Hydration is important.
Yes, very important.
I don't hydrate enough. Okay, so back to the question at hand. Pedro Porro. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, if you look at the way he plays, it's clearly what we're missing. Obvious question. I mean, can he do it in the Premier League? But I mean, hasn't he kind of already? Right? He played for.
Well, no,
he played.
I don't think he played
for
City.
He played on loan. Yeah, he loaned him out to somebody. I thought it was Bournemouth.
Are you talking about Danjuma, or are you talking about Pedro Porro?
Yeah, Porro I think was just owned by City and then loaned back to Sporting.
Yeah.
Oh, you're probably 100% on that.
So you're probably thinking of Danjuma. Well, I was asking you about Pedro Porro and not Danjuma, so.
Well, I mean, I understand who you're asking me about. I just thought that, I don't know, I had some interesting facts that apparently I was totally wrong about. But back to Pedro Porro, yeah, I mean, he's exciting. He looks exciting when he plays. Wouldn't you say? He's got a sort of attacking flair that I wonder how well he can defend. I'm getting ready to look at the numbers on the old transfer market, and we'll I don't know. We'll see what his defensive numbers look like, and then you got to also wonder how that's going to carry over.
I think you also have to consider that like his defensive numbers might also be changed, and you have to consider the context in that he's playing in a very strong team, one of the three strongest clubs in Portugal.
Yeah, for sure.
Against the rest of the league that is not really
A PSG almost type situation.
Yeah, and so that, and he plays so high up the pitch in this system. He's more of like a right mid, which to be fair, Spurs, when we're playing our system correctly, push our wingbacks super high up the pitch too, when we play it right. So I mean, he's going to get in the same areas, but also for Sporting, he just didn't have as much defensive responsibility. He's playing high up the pitch. He probably doesn't have to track back as much. Their defenders are probably, for their league, good enough. Their back three is competent enough to just defend, unlike ours that need rely on the support because they're just not good enough.
That's where a player, honestly, you're gonna throw shade at me, but if we're gonna have a luxury type player like that, we need to have a defender like Ben Davis who can fill in that gap between left back and center back, and he does. And Longley does a good job too. I mean, I'm sure a lot of defenders can do a good job in that role.
Well, see,
I'm just saying,
I've seen Davis has been fine most of the time this season. This is why I've said just fucking stick Longley in the middle and play Davis, Longley, Romero. If we're, I know we only did it twice. One time it didn't work out too well, but I feel like if you stick with that back three and keep playing, it'll probably work better than
Conte has a dire boner though.
I don't get it, man.
Jacob has the same thing. He's tucking it up into his waistband of his
Conte, Jose. Why do they fucking like Dyer? See, Poch realized quickly that Dyer was shit, and he stuck him on the fucking bench where he belongs.
The thing I don't understand about Dyer and Davies is how they have almost 20 years combined of service, and it's been shit, and they've never been fired or nothing. And I don't know.
To be fair,
sometimes I wonder.
There was the Champions League season, the Ajax season, Poch's last season, full season. Davis was pretty good. He was better than Danny Rose that season. Like, if you look at it, his stats were better than Danny Rose when he played at left back. So,
big up my Hotspur.
Yeah,
there's the link in the chat if anyone wants to come on and pop up with Jacob tonight. Pop up with Jacob and Colin and Kieran. But yeah, that's the part that I'm struggling with is what Scott's saying here. 20 years combined, 0. I'll say like 2 good games between them.
They've definitely played a good game at some point. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think these guys are terrible. Look, I mean, Davis. My thing is with Davis is he tries his. I think he tries his best. I think he works really hard. I just think that he's limited in ability. It's like with him, I don't blame him because he's a good guy. He's a good dude to have in the dressing room or whatever. He does his job. He keeps his head down. He's not bothered whether he plays or doesn't play as much. I mean, obviously he wants to play, and he does work hard to try and get into the lineup. But he keeps his sense even if he's on the bench. I don't know. I'm fine with him as a bench player, but fucking Dyer is the guy I have a problem with. Because here you have a guy who just really does think he is a top player, and he is just not. He's just not. He's not a good player, and he's
but he's at our team, right? He's not seemingly getting replaced, and so I think most people just have a sense of. I know you guys are responsible to all that, but like a lot of people are just like, well, like fuck it, we kind of gotta just accept it.
Dude, I have watched this guy now for fucking 3 years make mistake after mistake after game-breaking mistake. I just can't stand the sight of his face anymore. Because every time I look at him, you know what I see? Losses. So many losses. Every time I see Eric Dyer, I think of loss after loss after loss. I think of all these goals from opponents where he's falling
I
on
think
the
of his
ground
goals,
and
too.
twisting around and
What about his own
all
goals?
this, you know.
What do you think of other, like, I don't know. It just like other defenders falter and like make mistakes and have individual errors.
And then they get shipped the fuck out of a team
And then they get moved on.
if they continually
like
play
Longley.
shit.
Like Longley started going to shit at Barcelona, so they stuck his ass on the bench, and now he's here.
And now he's sucking it up here.
I mean, he's not
I think-
great,
I think
but
Long-
he's
I think
better
Longley's
than
good.
he's better than fucking Eric Dyer is. That's for sure. You know.
Big up Fitz. It's on. He's in London. Lest we pull up the photo again, my
So
friend.
7 months ago,
Look at that.
so I guess
John.
in the last
it's
transfer
John.
window, Liverpool were after Davis, and I'm reading a Reddit thread where the fans are talking about it. And
So I'm saying Porro's on, baby.
bro,
It
I
is
just showed
here
you.
we
I
go.
just showed
It
you.
is.
I just showed you the plane landing, bro.
What do you mean
That's
you just
on.
showed? I just showed. What do you, Colin? I'm gonna
I
need you to
put
get
that-
down with the business. That Pedro Porro is on.
I'm down. I showed you the image of the airplane landing.
You
In,
didn't show it to me.
bro,
I showed it.
I
to
had
you.
it. I put it in. I put the image in.
Look at that. There it goes. Just like the airplane.
Okay, that's enough. My hands are here.
Kieran, Pedro Porro is definitely on, right? He's landed in London.
Oh yeah, it's done, man. It's done.
What do you? Let me pose this to you. What do you think if he fails the physical? What do you think the
He's not
fucking
gonna. He
repercussions?
just played the Portuguese Cup final. He's fine.
He
He
kind of
failed-
hurt his
he-
ankle. He kind of.
I know we're all traumatized here, you know, as Spurs fans, but like, it's done. Just be happy. It's done. He's here, and soon enough, we won't have to see fucking Emerson Royale play football ever again.
I actually am gonna miss Emerson Royale, and I'm actually kind of sad about it. So I hope that we go pretty far in the Champions League, so we can see Emerson play against his old team, Barcelona.
Yeah, well, I don't
I
know.
want to see. There's some humor in what I said, but I don't think that Emerson would do well against teams.
No,
that
to be
level, but-
honest, like we have to realize that we're gonna continue to see Emerson Royale throughout at least the rest of the season. Hopefully, maybe in the summer we can move him on or something. But he's definitely here,
Scott,
and he's gonna
shut
play.
your
He's
face
gonna
hole.
play.
His knee's fine. It's just a little mess up. We're just gonna Daniel
Why are,
Levy
you
will get a
doing, why are you
discount.
pulling that up again?
I didn't.
You did, because I was
It
in
was
the
a-
comments, so you
it was an
definitely pulled it up.
It was an accident, sir.
Show me your hands. Okay. Oh, that's only one of them. There we go. Okay. Now put them in the air like you just don't care. There you go. There you go. Anywho, you're right, my high Hotspur. That was a good draw today. Honestly, I want Wrexham because, I mean, it's Deadpool FC, so who doesn't want to see Wrexham at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right?
Wow, fangirling a bit. I get it. You're you're fangirling a bit for Ryan Reynolds.
There was
Apparently I'm
also a fun
Southern.
tweet that they put out where after one of them scored, everyone was doing the sunny celebration. So that was nice to see as well.
Which Sony celebrations?
You know the sunny celebration, the photo one. I literally just
Oh,
did it. Yeah.
okay. I was actually on another tab. I didn't notice. what
Only
you were
way
doing.
he fails the medical is if someone spikes his coffee with Rohypnol.
I actually
Let's hope
already.
that- He's. I'm curious. She's definitely got to be in London, right? Because if Felix and Porro are both in London now, surely whatever her name is, she's got to be in London.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was just looking at the FA Cup draw. I guess it's a good draw since we didn't draw anybody
Good
big,
ones,
but
guys.
like,
I don't even know who we drew. I'll admit it. Who did we draw?
I mean, we didn't
We
draw
drew-
anyone yet, but like,
Yeah, we
West,
did.
huh?
What are you talking about? We didn't draw.
Did we draw?
Yeah, it was today, bro.
Isn't it the winner of a replay?
Well, yeah, it's either Wrexham or Sheffield. It's one of the two.
Well, that's what I mean. We don't know exactly who out of the two.
We got to narrow down.
Yeah, it's going to be either Sheffield or Wrexham. My point is, our draw is going to be easy, but the only team that's likely to get knocked out, Premier League team that's likely, is one of Man United or West Ham. And honestly, West Ham are shit. So if we drew West Ham, I wouldn't be worried at all. You know, unless they can somehow knock out United.
You're so worried about West Ham, dude.
Yeah, why are you talking about West Ham? We didn't draw them. We're not going to play them next. No, we need to worry about Wrexham, bro. Because
dude, why do you always have West Ham living rent free in your head, bro?
Bro, West Ham is definitely in your head.
What are you thinking about West Ham?
What are you talking about? What I'm saying,
West Ham, Kieran?
Dude, West Ham is a fine team, I guess, if you're white trash.
Did you eat ham today, Kieran?
What I'm saying is the only two Premier League teams who drew each other were Man United and West Ham. So,
yeah, that's true.
Who did City get? Their moms?
Bristol City.
And then the only Premier League team on a replay is Fulham against Sunderland. So, you know.
Come on, Jack Clark, masterclass incoming. Sunderland.
Fulham will probably be matched to another Premier League team.
Yes, we all think Sheffield's going to beat Wrexham, but let's all just dream that Deadpool FC is going to win it again.
So wait, do they have to win by a certain number of goals, or just win?
Just win. Okay, just win, baby.
I think it's possible.
Josh Smith, you guys seen the news of us potentially getting a center back in today? I hope so. I'd take Ndika or Hincape. I like Hincape's Ecuador. I have some Ecuadorian family. So that would be cool.
Sounds biased. Sounds biased. No, it's even gooder. You just Ecuadorian.
What I've heard is that Ndika's agent is demanding like a massive sign-on fee.
Oh.
Since he's on a free. So I mean, if we have to sign him on a free, if we could buy him, that's one thing. But if we had to sign him on a free, then that's not going to happen. For sure, it's not going to happen.
Even if, follow me. Even if signing him on a free was still cheaper than buying him this window.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think Levy. That's one of the things that stopped deals in the past. Remember the Dybala deal, and we didn't want to pay for his image rights. Like we agreed to this, like it was like a 70 or 75 million euro transfer, and then it fell through on.
Yeah, that's how we know the team has money. I know we've spent since then, but like if we could just make that, we could just make that signing. Potentially, like,
yeah, and see, that's what I've always said too. It's not about the amount of money we spend; it's about the quality of player we bring in, and whether we're willing to do what needs to be done.
Maybe we made the right choice. Dybala's kind of shit now. Do you agree, though? Dybala's kind of shit at Roma.
I mean, we have no idea how his career could have gone if he had left Juventus. I mean, Juventus, since Conte left, has kind of been, a shit show. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, we have no idea what would have happened with Dybala. And if he was still here and Conte's here, who knows?
I don't know why we're talking about Dybala.
Do you think we dodged the Dybala-shaped bullet by not getting him over his
No, he scored some fucking bangers, too. I mean, it's just...
You also scored some bangers.
Why are we talking about Dybala?
I was
just making a poll. Chadley.
We were talking about Ndika and the agent wanting a huge sign-on fee, and I was referencing Dybala as an example of why, if that's the case, Tottenham will probably not be able to get that deal done. The only way we can get Ndika is if we buy him from Frankfurt, who may be willing to sell to get some more money out of it and not let him go on a free, but who knows? We'll see. I think Hincape might be a better opportunity, but on deadline day, I feel like that also might be tough. I don't know. Have they signed? It depends. It's Leverkusen, right? Is that Leverkusen? right?
Say that
Hincapié
again?
is at
Hincapié's
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, yeah.
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 Unless they've
Yeah.
signed a center back in this January, then I don't know, man.
True. Like who's gonna fill that
Yeah,
giant Hincapié shaped hole in their squad? Maybe
Yeah.
they'll do a deadline day deal, dude. Maybe this has been planned. Like, think about this. Think about it for a second. We have a director of football, right? He has a job. While he's not thinking about how bad jail's gonna suck, he's doing his job, and he's probably had this plan for a while. So they probably got a deadline day signing they're gonna try to make. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be like a dominoes thing. It's like they say yes. Okay, well they said yes too. Okay, well did they say yes? And like 3 teams are gonna like get new players, and I don't know. It's my guess. It'll be like a domino thing, and lots of players will move around because of this transfer. I think Conte to Spurs. You heard it here first. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna verify my Twitter. I'm gonna pay $8 for a verified Twitter, and I'm gonna put it out there tonight. And I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say I know for a fact.
You heard it here first, folks. Colin in the know.
And then it's weird. The way I know is just like, it's just like it comes into my head like from somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like it's a sense that I don't feel like everyone has.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they don't have a single. They haven't signed a single center back. They like brought one up from the academy, but that's it. So unless they're gonna sign a center back in the next couple, tomorrow,
Was that academy dude sweet? Like, maybe what are his stats like for the academy?
I don't know. Talking about Sadiq Fofana.
Yeah, I'm
19
gonna watch.
years old.
I don't know who that. I've never heard of that guy in my life.
Oh, yeah, he's a 19-year-old player.
And yeah, they put him back out on loan to FC Nuremberg, so he's playing in the Bundesliga too. So he's not even with the team. So yeah, man, I don't know.
Man.
I think Hincapié could be tough too. I really doubt we sign a center back, and if we do, it might be another bullshit Joe Rodon type signing. Somebody. I'd take Joe
Rodon right now, but hey, I'm watching a Dele Alli fail in the Turkish league compilation. Oh my God, how's he failing so bad in the Turkish league? This is so bad. I've never seen this video.
He scored a goal. He scored a goal last game.
Oh my God, I'm so glad.
So don't let it fool you. I was just scouring Fabrizio's Twitter feed, and I don't see anything. So I don't see any updates.
He's probably taking a nap. I'm sure he doesn't sleep. He just takes a couple naps a day.
He doesn't sleep during this time. I know that much.
Right.
Let's see. DiMarzio ain't said nothing either.
I think that there might be a substance involved in keeping him awake. Caffeine.
Don't speculate.
It's in coffee beans.
Don't speculate that he consumes such a harsh chemical, bro.
I think Jacob does. Sorry, Jacob. You're Jacob. I think Kieran does. Kieran, do you consume the caffeine from the coffee bean?
Yeah, I like coffee. If that's what you're asking, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm asking.
There's rumors floating around about Max Kilman from Wolves. There's some speculation about Max Kilman from Wolves. Kieran, have you seen this guy play at all? What are your thoughts on him? Oh, dope.
Oh, Kieran.
Well, I've watched him from time to time because I watch Wolves. You're muted, by the way, Kieran, if that's...
Oh, shit. Sorry about that.
We're both like...
Yeah, Max Kilman is really good. I like him a lot.
Do you watch much Wolves?
I haven't watched them much this season because they're pretty terrible to watch. I mean, they're a team that's kind of fighting to stay out of the relegation zone, so... and it's possible if things don't improve, they could end up going down. But Yeah, I don't think they'd sell Max Gilman in January for sure. That would have to be a summer buy.
6'4", 25, England. Looks like he plays left side, over. If you look at the heat map.
Yeah.
Take over for Ben Davies and Longley.
Ben Davies doesn't need anybody to take over for him. He's an elite player.
Look at that. 8.1 versus West Ham. Come on.
Yeah, no, he's very good. I like him. He seems composed on the ball. He's
No outstanding weaknesses.
I just think it's weird.
I'm pretty sure
It's
they
weird
say that about Dyer too. So don't believe the no outstanding weaknesses thing.
No, his thing is tackling. His weakness is tackling, and when you're a defender, that's pretty bad.
It's weird to me that you guys pull up my boys, pull up Davies. I'd like to see Davies said.
Sam from We Are Tottenham TV said he'd take Maguire on loan. Do you share the same opinion?
He can't be worse than Dyer, honestly. I
Can't
know
be worse
Maguire's
than
been
Dyer.
bad, but literally, I believe Eric Dyer's the probably bottom 5 center backs in the Premier League. He's that bad, especially this season. I mean, the amount of mistakes this guy has made this season alone it's just unbelievable. I mean, last season, him along with every other player on the team was playing at the absolute peak of their powers and abilities. In that second half of the season under Conte, when we were playing mostly one game a week because we were out of Europe already. So, I other than that time, Dyer has been terrible for the last 3 years playing at center back. So, yeah, I'd take pretty much any other Premier League center back over him. Except maybe like the guys at Leeds, their center backs are pretty bad.
Or Leicester.
Or Leicester, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them at Leicester. Those defenders are pretty bad. Goalkeeper Mile High Hotspur says Jose Saw from Wolves. Ray is good as well.
What's up?
Ray is very good.
Jose Saw's been struggling this year, actually, but I could
I'm back,
I
ladies.
mean, Wolves are just awful, so that's really why he's struggling.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
We pull up Ben Davis on here.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Okay. Also, peep the top, everybody. I'll switch to a different camera.
Classic.
No way. Oh. Danny K wants Maguire. That's weird. I definitely don't want him. But if it's all we get, it's definitely an upgrade.
I'd rather not have Maguire for sure. But, he's but he is better than Dyer, so we're not getting Guardiola. We need to stop with this Guardiola stuff. That guy's he's not.
In what world are we getting him? Honestly, like, be real with yourself. Be real with, in what world?
That guy is the next world class, top cream of the crop center back. He's gonna go to fucking Real Madrid or maybe Chelsea or. He's not coming to us. He might go to Bayern or something. I don't know. He's not coming to us.
I thought about him for a long time. I was really hoping we'd get him for a long time.
Yeah. What'd you think about him?
Look at it instantly. Everything changes. You see all the.
That's good.
No outstanding strengths. That's very true.
And no weaknesses.
Yeah, or no weaknesses. He is the most mediocre, average, just bland player you've ever imagined.
Yes, we agree. Finally, he's not bad at all. Is he good? Is he good?
He's got 2 goals.
He's not bad at all. Is he good at all? No. Is he bad at all? No.
He's just
2 goals, 1 assist.
He's just milk toast Ben Davis.
Bro just fucking plays his game. and it's as good as he can do. He's doing as much as he can. See the way he launches his body in front of
Bro,
balls
what
like
kind
that.
of heat map
He earns
is
my
this for
he earns my
His
championship?
strength should
bro.
be blocks. His strength should be blocks.
He earns my respect for the way he just launches himself in front of balls. Like pairs of them, he just launches himself right. But like literally, like you said, his blocks are nuts.
This is the best description I've ever heard of Ben Davies. He's unseasoned boiled chicken.
Yes, there
Straight
you go.
up. He is straight up the kind of chicken you feed your dog.
Pack full of protein, absolutely devoid of flavor.
God,
yeah.
disgusting.
He's definitely like British football. Like he's a British footballer. He's not a European footballer. If you know what I mean. Like there's like European flair.
When he leaves here, he's definitely gonna go to like Burnley or something.
Yeah, and when he eats, he's like, "Oh, I'll have the fish and chips," and they're like, "So we don't have that." He's like, "I'll have the roasts."
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah. He only eats. He can speak Welsh too. Like he's like legitimately Welsh. Like, he's not even like Gareth Bale's fake. Gareth Bale's fake Welsh, doesn't speak it.
Well, bold statement. I will not have any Gareth Bale slander on
Me neither.
my podcast.
Gareth Bale is a fake.
And there we go.
Yeah. I'm very sorry to the Welsh people, the Welsh nation, for this outrage. Jacob and I do not condone or
we do not condone
this.
it. No, we do not.
I'm just calling it how I see it, man. Feel free to inbox me. I have my
You should go to the eye
Twitter.
doctors.
There's my Twitter junk right there. 40 Fanatics on the old twat. You hit me up there. Give me the old what for.
So Kieran, are you of the mindset? I want to pose you something, okay? I'm of the mindset that January 1st we should have had Pedro Porro in the house. He should have been ours, quite frankly. The 1st of January, in my opinion. I heard reports that we had the first 19 days of the month to trigger his release clause, and we were fighting him over 7 mil. At what point is it just atrocious business? Because if you think about it, he could have been here to help for the North London Derby. He could have been here to help for the first City game. It's just kind of disappointing.
What report? Where's the report that we had 19 days?
Well, here's the thing.
David Ornstein.
I'll look for it.
Here's the thing, too, Jacob. The thing is, what a big club would have done is one of two things: either they pay the release clause up front, or if they don't want to pay the release clause, they offer over his value to be able to pay an installment.
Was it in a tweet or was it? Sorry.
What, Kieran?
So instead of like paying the release clause at 45 million, a big club, if they didn't want to pay that cash up front, they would have gone on and be like, okay, instead of 45 million, we'll give you 55 in 3 installments. And that's a better way to do it, because more likely they'd be like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, that's an extra 10 million is worth it for us to take it in chunks. We'll go ahead and do that. But we're not going to do that. Not only are we not going to pay the release clause, we're going to offer less than the release clause in installments. And then we had to get dragged up to just over the deal's 47, right, instead of 45. Is that what's being reported? 47.
It was 45, and we were offering 37.
No, but now the finalized deal now is what I'm saying.
Let me see. I'm going. Hold on. The man Fab's got it. Let's see.
It's 45 million as for Ornstein. 45 million. Looks like euro.
Oh, then we had to. Oh, that's right. So we've had to get dragged back to.
Yeah, 45.
So we had to get dragged back to the release clause price from 37. And then we had to agree to give up 35%,
15.
Down to 15%, down to 35% of of Marcus Edwards' sell-on fee. I mean, it's just and because of that, because of refusing to budge, refusing to just make it worth their while to not take the cash up front from the beginning, we could have had the player early on, and now we don't. Now we're getting him at the very end of January. And like people will argue, oh well, you know, blah blah blah. We can't pay the release clause because that's all 45 million up front. That'll blow our transfer budget. And then I'm like, well, then this is what you do. You offer overvalue in order to pay in installments. You know,
I hate the paying.
it's like the interest. Thing. Like you're taking interest on it. You know, like that's what you have to do to get it done quickly. And a big club would do that, but you know we're not gonna.
That's the thing that bugs me is I really feel like a big club would have came in on the 1st of January and said, "How much is it? 45. Here you go."
Yeah.
And move on.
Well, because they just have a bigger budget to begin with too. Not like we don't have the money. Don't get me wrong.
Money. I have a hard time
it's just not what we're gonna be allowed to spend. You know, so. But even then, if it's above what you're allowed to spend right now, then. Like I said, just offer extra, make it worth their while for them to take it in installments instead of trying to fucking undercut them and ask for installments. It's just ridiculous, you know. But ultimately, the reason this got done is because the Premier League clubs hold all the financial power. Even a stupid club like Spurs that does dumbass shit in the transfer window. They hold all the power over these smaller European clubs. They need the money. They need the money that they get from selling their players to the Premier League. So, that's why ultimately it is getting done, even though it took all fucking month.
They knew it would happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ndombele comes back on deadline day.
They already have a Bellerin's going to go there, supposedly.
Here's why you're wrong. He's not coming back on deadline day, full bull, because he's going to win a fucking trophy with Napoli this season. He's about to win the, what is it called? The Scudetto?
Scudetto.
He's about to win that shit. So,
yeah.
No, he's not coming to Spurs.
And as far as I know, there's a clause in his loan as well that basically is an obligation to buy for Napoli if Napoli makes top 4, makes the Champions League, and they're literally going to win the fucking league.
They're going to win the league.
So I think he's at the end of the season, and Ndombele will be a Napoli player for 35 million, I believe the clause is, from what's been reported.
See, at least we semi just like cut our losses. I really feel like there's some players on the squad like Davinson Sanchez. We should just cut our losses. Lucas Moura, cut our losses.
And Lucas is gone for sure at the end of the season, if not tomorrow. So,
he says he doesn't want to go. That's what the reports are saying.
I don't know about that. He probably wants to finish the season with us, and then he'll.
I want to throw this out there because maybe. I want to throw this out there because maybe it'll send some juju our way. But Bournemouth is closing in on a deal to sign Zabarnyi. And I was on the Irish Hotspur earlier, and him and Jack were rooting and raving about this guy. So I was kind of looking into him. I think they were saying like 25 mil for a center back. What are we thinking? I'm about to pull his little map up. Do you think we could hijack this? I mean, I heard he's pretty good. Let's see what the stats say.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have a hard time
we already hijacked the Juma thing, so we could potentially do it, but it seems like it's pretty done. I mean, so was the Dan Juma thing. He's literally on his way to a medical, so I don't know.
I feel like all signs are kind of pointing to that we're not going to address the center back thing until the summer because Conte said as much that he doesn't feel like we need to bolster there. I don't know. Anyone else concerned about that?
I think that he's just protecting his players. Conte does not dig out players in the media. He never has. He's not Jose Mourinho. Um, I stress this point all the time because Conte always gets compared to Jose. I think it's bullshit. They're nothing alike in terms of personality. The only similarity they have is that they win. Like their tactics are the same.
Play with the back five, back three, whatever.
Jose doesn't always. Jose prefers to play with a 4-2-3-1 most of the time, or a 4-4-2. So, I mean,
I guess I'm speaking about their Chelsea 10 years.
Yeah, well, okay, the Chelsea
Pick
team.
up C Cubed. Came here from
C-Cubed.
Nightbot. Technically,
Whoa.
Nightbot is watching, but I've disabled everything. I've figured out how to kill the beast, but Nightbot is watching.
Now he's
And let's
just
see who
like
I'm gonna see who the top chatter is. That's what I think's pretty cool.
Nightbot's just like Clockwork Orange style, forced to watch the stream while having absolutely no controller input. Yeah, just eyes wide open. Yeah.
Oh, what? Now I gotta log in? Bitch, like I wasn't just... Okay, Nightbot. They heard me talking, now Nightbot's like, relog in so I can reset all your shit.
Dude, there is no way Conte, with all his assistant coaches, all the analysts, everybody they have at the club to go over every single game and every data, and just also Conte, who has coached world-class center backs, there's no way he looks at this group of absolute fools and Romero and is like, yeah, we're good here. We're solid. He does not look at us having the fifth worst defense in the Premier League. And is like, yeah, I'm good with this. No, he's just protecting his players, because when your players are already performing horribly, you're not gonna. It's smart to not go into the media and absolutely destroy their confidence by shitting all over them. You know.
But sometimes maybe you do need to shit all over them.
I think he could be a little stronger on the players and just say, you know, this performance is unacceptable. We need to improve or something like that. But I think he's a little too soft on them. And it's because ultimately he just wants them to, you know, get along and play their best until he can get rid of them, you know. And also the shitting on these guys, we already know it doesn't work. Because Jose did it and it didn't work for him. They just played worse. The more Jose called out the defense in the media, the worse they played. So, you know, Conte's definitely, you know, seen that and knows better, you know.
Yes.
Ask me a question. Ask me a question.
What's your favorite color?
Cyan.
Cyan. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. My favorite color's always been blue, which is nice. I like blue because it's a color of blood.
Okay.
So, what about you? What's your favorite
Why did you
color?
want me to ask you a question?
Oh, Kane got to talk about Spurs. You didn't ask me about Spurs.
Well, that's because it looked like you were researching something, so I didn't want to break up your concentration phase.
I actually am. How did you know? Do I have a concentration phase? Sorry.
And I can hear your keyboard.
Dang it.
That was a dead giveaway.
Break.
Aaron Dub, have a good night, day, stream.
Oh, Aaron Dub, top of the Irish.
Aaron Dub says we're going to win the FA Cup. We have a pretty good path. That's going to be our best.
We're probably
going to
win the Champions League too.
See, Colin, maybe the reason why I don't get to ask you anything is because you interrupt me before I get there. So let me build the question, and then I'll send it your way, and then you answer it. So, Aaron says we can win the FA Cup. I say it's the easiest path to a trophy this season. Do you realistically, like, put on your realistic cap and try to not listen to your heart? Try to think about it from an objective standpoint. Do you think we can win the FA Cup this year?
I do. I mean,
See ya. Bye.
tournaments like the
That's pretty
FA
cool.
Cup.
Is your headset wireless? I'm sorry I
Yeah,
interrupted you now, but
yeah. No, it's wireless. I'm
you
just like up
dipped
and walking.
and
Yeah. I'm up and walking.
okay. Continue with your answer. I apologize. And now we don't hear him. Maybe he walked too far now.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm still within range, guys. I'm here. Yeah, of course we win the FA Cup. I mean, you know how close we've gotten in years past. It's crazy. I mean, we have a team that I think can beat any team in the league on their day.
Can you get closer? You're still breaking up.
What about now?
That's better.
We've shown that we're a team that can beat any team, on our day.
You're still breaking up a little bit. Sorry. If you need a second, you can just say, "Hang on, I'll be right back."
All right,
And then
hey
I'll
guys.
ask Kieran the question.
Hey guys, are you there? You guys.
Kieran, I'll ask you. How do you feel about getting to the FA Cup? Do you think a semifinal is our best option? I've heard predictions as far as a semifinal. As you saw earlier, Aaron Dubb says we could win it all. I've always said the treble's on because mathematically it's possible.
I mean, I think it's possible we could win. I think one thing that would really help us is that if after this round the two Manchester clubs get matched up, if Man U beats West Ham, if Man U gets matched up with City, then that would be the best thing for us. Because I think though the two Manchester clubs are now the only two teams left in this competition that I'm not confident about us being able to beat. Fulham, Southampton, Leicester, Leeds, even Brighton. We can beat those teams, especially in the cup, because Leicester, Southampton, they're focused on not getting relegated, and I just believe we have enough to get past Fulham and Brighton. So that Matoma guy is nasty though. We gotta watch out for him if we match with Brighton. So.
He's doing some nasty stuff. I've already heard people saying that needs to be Son's replacement. I'm not hearing it. I need everyone to calm down.
Yeah,
he has done some. He did the way he knocked out Liverpool was kind of nasty. That was kind of nasty. Yo, Leo, the fucking link's in the chat if you want to join, homie. Feel free to join. Colin, we're talking FA Cup, the big mighty. It's over a foot long. It's a pretty big trophy.
Yeah,
do you think we're gonna win it?
I think we could win it.
But do you think it's likely?
Yeah, I think there's like a 1 in 4 chance probably that we win. 25% chance. That's pretty good if you're gambling. But honestly,
you gotta. But I feel like from a gambling or a mathematical standpoint, it would be less than 25% because I would say that because you have City, you have United, Brighton. That's really kind of it out of the big clubs.
Brighton's is hose. We can take them.
I wouldn't count them out necessarily. I could definitely see Brighton doing something nasty to us.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say we're gonna play Kane. We're gonna play like our strongest team, like in all games, really. At least I think so. I think that Kane wants a trophy so bad that I think he'll play in cup games. So we'll see some variation of like our best team. Always. I mean, we don't have a B team, so we'll be fielding strong. We'll be fielding strong teams, for all the games. I just think that we'll go far I think we'll go far in the Champions League. I don't know. I think as far as cups go, I think that Tottenham's going to do great this year.
Hopefully Sonny's back too. If he scored in the last couple of games, if he keeps this up, and Danjuma gets involved and gets a couple goals, our attack might just be good enough that, in these cup games where these teams farther down the table are having to prioritize the league, we just might have too much in terms of attacking quality for some of these sides. I mean, it really comes down to, for us and for every game in every competition this season, is, does the defense perform? Again, do the center backs not make game-breaking mistakes? If we every time we can get through a game without that, we usually get a result. You know, it's very. I feel like every game we've lost this season, or maybe one or two, there's been a horrible mistake from the defense. Not just the opposition playing well and just being really good on the ball and playing through us, but one of our defenders making an absolute, nightmare mistake. So that's really it for us, man. Is if we can just stop that, then I think the cup is attainable. It is within reach. If things go our way.
Go ahead, Colin.
Okay, so I had this idea. I was watching.
You in the back, Colin.
Thank you, sir. I have been watching Spurs play for a long time now, and ever since at least the start of this season, I would say. Antonio Conte seems like, to me, just a pleb, just a guy that watches football like the rest of us. It seems like Antonio Conte has said, first half, soak it up. We're going to try to let them tire themselves out. We're going to not really exert ourselves. Second half, balls to the walls.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it? I don't know. I've seen it. I just keep seeing it.
I don't buy it. I don't think that any coach ever goes out there and says, "Go sit back for the first 45, and then we'll figure it out." Like, I don't.
It's also just watch the Conte cams. But honestly, they don't even show everything. But just, you can see him in matches. He's screaming. And ask people who sit near the bench in the stadium. He's screaming the entire match. Go forward, press. He's trying to push them up the field. He wants them to press. He wants them to be more aggressive in these first halves.
I just don't understand how professional players could not do it one half and then literally do it the next half of the same match. It doesn't
because they're scared. It's fear. And the thing is, once they're already losing, that fear is eliminated because now they have nothing left to lose because they're already behind. It's fear. And it's fear because the defense, except for Romero, does not have the either physical qualities or just footballing ability to play a high line consistently. And we don't even, Conte doesn't even want to play a super high line. It's really, just press with the front players and then, a mid block. But even that they're uncomfortable with. That's why they drop so deep, because they're terrified of players running in behind and balls over the top, because they're not good enough to track balls in the air and they're not fast enough to deal with pacey players running in behind.
Hi, Moses.
And then the midfield and the wingbacks.
Hit a like and subscribe while you're here, Mr. Moses.
The wingbacks are so worried about supporting the defense that they don't push up the field, and the midfielders don't trust the defense either, so they don't push up the field. It just causes everybody except the forwards to be dropping back, and you'll see some instances where Kane and Son and Decky will press, and then, the opposition team will play through, around, or over the press, and then you'll see them turn around. Sometimes Kane will even, throw up his arms because the midfield and the defense is already back so far deep. It's just it's fear, man. That's mistrust.
Did you see Danjuma? Even he was very frustrated with the service.
I think that's going to be good, man.
He was making some runs in behind, and he was throwing his hands up, yelling at the people. So I think there might be something in this guy. I think he might have a little sauciness. So, Colin, how do you feel?
I agree completely. We've needed a player with that kind of fire that will get mad. It was his first match. He doesn't really even know these guys, and still he was like, "Yo, you did your job wrong, sir. I was here. The ball should have been here, sir." And I'm sure he put the sir on the end. I'm sure he was nice about it, but it's good to have somebody that really cares and that is going to demand more, I think, from the supporting cast. Sometimes I think these players are such good friends that maybe they let each other off for things, or they put up with things from each other like less than 100%. Whereas some new blood, you know, they don't know them from anybody. They've got their own friends and family. You know, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited for the shakeup, even if
Big
it's
up
just, you know,
Jaco.
1 or 2 players.
Big up David. We got some official supporters checking in. Big up yourself. Thanks for showing up. Big up Barry McCockner. That's a name we ain't seen in a while. How you doing, Mr.
Barry.
McCockner? Mr. Barry. Big up. Big up. David says, heard this Danjuma guy had some attitude issues in the past. Hopefully we can use his passion in a good way. Can't see him getting much playing time. I could see him coming off the bench and being that impact sub that Conte's looking for. Not saying he's going to put pressure on Sonny because I don't think he's of that level. But you know what? I heard someone argue this, and this was a very good point. They said his goal was the best goal versus Preston North End because not a single person in the stadium knew where that shot was going. So, not even him.
Oh my God! Do you think? I like to think that he sliced it on purpose. You don't think so?
No, he did. No, bro. If you watched the replay, you could tell he was like.
It was a no look. It was
he
a
kinda
no.
shanked it.
It was a no look slice purposefully into that bottom corner. I watched it. He knew it was coming. He timed the slice. He looked the other way. He was sick. It was on purpose. It's gonna win the.
Barry McCockner popped in, popped out, just wanted to say hi, and now he's off to bed. Good night. Well, good night yourself, Barry McCockner. Hit the like on your way out. And tell your mother, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell a friend. We are on the road to 600. Last I checked, we are officially 10 away from 600.
Way.
10 away from 600.
I'm really proud of you, man. I mean that as a friend and as a lover. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of that, man. You're gonna get it. You'll be at 1,000 before you even know it, sir.
Cube says Danjuma doesn't even count as a signing to me. Club and Levy get no credit from me on it.
Cool. Well, how many goals does he have to score for them to get any credit?
Well, he's got one. He's got one. So whatever the number is, he's at least one.
He reminds me a lot of Chadley, but better.
I think he makes he's got some nice pace, and I like his size. I like.
I was very into Chadley.
You gotta love a guy who's got a fucking celebration that is known from the fans on regardless of the team.
What set am I gonna mess? Can I do this in like a bad neighborhood?
I don't know what you're doing over there.
Show me how you do it.
Tyler says goal is a goal. Dan the man Juma will make a difference off the bench. Let's hope you're right, Tyler. I hope you're right, Tyler.
Tyler,
I'm a pretty optimistic guy. Isn't that your buddy from?
No, I don't know Tyler.
No, I don't know. No, he's our buddy. He's everyone's buddy.
I love him. Buddy. I love Tyler. I love you, bro.
CQ, how's Barry? Still hating? Oh, Barry. Not Barry McCockner. Definitely not Barry McCockner. Use Danjuma in place of Perisic and back up to Kane. Did anyone like Perisic on the wing and playing up top? Anyone liked what they saw?
Yeah, I mean, he's fine. He's fine. He's not great. I think without a team full of other really hardworking, industrious players like his Croatian national team, I don't think he looks as good. You know what I mean? Like, our team, we don't play the way that the teams he's successful in play. We have a habit of doing that. We'll buy a player that's really good in like X type of team. Like whenever we bought what was his name? Why can't I think of it right now? The small guy. You know what I'm talking about? The guy from Spain. He was the 3rd top scorer in Spain behind Ronaldo and Roberto Soldado. Got it. It was like when we bought him, and he was a poacher goal. You know what I mean? He was a poacher type of striker. We got him to replace like Adebayor.
Huh? Well, hey Moses, I don't know what you said, but hello to you as well. Don't know what any of that means, but big up yourself. Hit the like You hit the thumbs up on the video. That'd be very nice of you, Moses.
Thanks, Moses.
Cube says doesn't have anything to do with Danjuma, and if he ends up being good for us, has everything to do with the fact that he is alone and not a position we really need. Well, I mean, I was of the camp that was bitching about Hill being our options off the bench and how atrocious that is. So now Hill's back at Sevilla for 20 mil plus Lamella, and you can have Hill, the reason why we gave you all that shit in the first place, which is so fucking stupid because for the same price, you could have got a Dama Traore and we could have been having a great fucking time. I'm talking about a great fucking time. Like a time you wouldn't believe. You probably wouldn't even be crying about no positions or nothing because guess what? Adama Traore can play every single position on the pitch. It doesn't matter where you put the man. That's just how I feel. Scott says Soldado. Thought you were thinking of Lorente. We do need a backup for Sonny. Was a good loan signing. That's kind of where I was going with it. So I got sidetracked by Adama Traore and thinking about him in Lily White. But
I honestly think, Sorry. I'm interrupting.
No, go ahead. I'll let you in. No. I already lost what I was gonna say. I already forgot. So
okay,
tell me what you're gonna say.
Adama Traore would have been sick, but I think it's past the point where he would be a good signing for the club, unless we got him for extremely cheap. How cheap? How cheap?
Free in the summer.
Oh God! Well,
free in the summer.
Please, yes.
Come on.
Please.
You could get him for $5 right now.
Please.
We could get him for $5 right now.
I want him to play on the like a wing back, right wing back.
Over under. Well, we already got our right wing back. We got Pedro Porro. He would be. But see, here's the thing. A lot of people are upset about Danjuma because he can't play on the right. Richarlison can't play on the right, and we sent Hill away, who's the only one who could kind of play on the right behind Kulusevski. You get Adama Traore. He can play left, right, front, center, middle, back. It don't matter. That's just how I feel. But back to Danjuma, I do think that this was a decent signing. He's a decent player, and it's a decent business. We didn't spend too much with no obligation to buy. It's just an option to buy. I mean, I can't really be mad at this business. Yes, I don't like the position because obviously I want a center back. But I was of the side that I didn't like our options off the bench. If Richarlison can't stay healthy, Lucas Moore is playing with the fucking U21s. And, I mean, he did score in the North London Derby for the U21s, but that's besides the point. Like, Hill was never going to work out. Moore is not working out. Richarlison's 50-50. We need something. Now, I think the issue is, like, Richarlison isn't solving our attacking issues, but it's what we reinforced in the summer. So, like, clearly there's some kind of problem going on with our method. Our plan it doesn't look good. So I do blame Levy for this signing.
Well, also,
I do not think it's like the greatest, but I also don't think it's bad. I don't necessarily think it's a bad bit of business.
He looks also to me like he might be able to play striker, and that's just like conjecture. But he seems like he can play in the middle. And
left wing and striker is his main thing.
So what if we don't know for sure? I mean, if we don't, that Kane is staying, right? And so that's
what Richarlison was for.
So, I know, but Richarlison's also sort of backup for Sonny, and so with this we have like you know what I mean, like a freaking panic button, break glass if in emergency type deal. You know, like a striker cover or striker depth. He can be the backup to Richarlison if Kane decides to leave until he finds somebody better. I know that's not good enough, but I mean it's just like I think it's a club covering their tracks a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, J. Cole says for 25 mil we could have signed 2 Kim and Jay. We haggled for 5 mil over Kim and Jay.
I'm really upset over that. He's
we
such
haggled
a
for
quality
5
player.
mil over Kim and Jay.
I can go back and pull up my Reddit. I don't want you guys to know who I am on Reddit, but I can show you Reddit posts of mine where I said a long time ago that we needed him. Years ago, whenever it was before he even went to Turkey. Yeah, it was when he was still in China. It's BS, man.
Moses Okoye says Danjuma, he's good physical and he's good header. I agree with you. I think he's got a big frame on him. He's decently fast. Now I don't know what kind of shooting boots he's got necessarily, but
I'm watching his highlights right now as we speak.
Colin, I'm trying to do the thing where well, don't just watch his highlights because it's all going to show his good shit. You should watch his bad shit too.
I searched for fails, but there was no fail video.
I'm just trying to go with the approach that like, this guy's going to give us something. I have a feeling that this guy's going to give us something. I don't know why. I had the same thought when we signed Kulusevski and Bentancur. I said, I think this guy Kulusevski is going to give us something. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I liked his name. But I really because honestly, I didn't know anything about Mr. Kulusevski before we signed him. I'm not one of those people who's going to be like, oh, I knew him. Oh, I knew he was going to work out. I knew he was. I don't know who he was.
Check out something I'm putting in the
Danjuma,
chat.
I do know. I have seen him play in La Liga. I did see him play for Bournemouth. He was player of the year in Bournemouth the year that they came up, that they dominated the championship, actually. They won the league by like 20 points that year. So he was on the team of the year. He had a whole bunch of goals, and that was playing as a striker, which you're right, Cubed. For Bournemouth, he played striker, but in La Liga, he played left wing for Villarreal most. So I think exactly he is kind of another Richie, but that's the thing is Richie's not fucking healthy. Richie's got an iffy skiniffy, and we never know when we're gonna see the motherfucker. So I think it's just good insurance. I'm not too upset about it. It's a loan with an option, so like at the end of the day, we didn't spend 30 million on a fucking another Richarlison. We got a backup to Richarlison, essentially a Lucas Moura replacement, a Brian Hill replacement, which quite frankly, I don't want to see either one of those players, honestly. So why not Danjuma? Why the fuck not? Tyler, he honestly might be better than Richarlison. Not gonna lie, it's close and half the price. I mean, think about it. If he ends up working out better than Richarlison, we sign him up, get Richarlison out. I mean, who knows? But
no, have Richarlison be the backup. Have Richarlison, either way, they'll compete with each other. They'll fight, no matter who's like better. They'll both get playing time because of the schedule, and I think that they'll both be better because of competing with each other, and we'll have two good informed players that we can rotate around. I think we're gonna have to think of a time that's post Son and Kane, and not too distant future.
If fucking Danjuma and Richie is our post Son and Kane, kill me. That's not enough. What are you talking about? Post Son and Kane. I know we have to think about it, but if you're talking like this is our replacement for Son and Kane, bro, Danjuma's not. I think some people are thinking that Danjuma's going to come in and challenge Son like at all for his for the starting role there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to think about post Son and Kane because I want to think about. Right now, I want to win a fucking FA Cup. I want to see them lift it and kiss it and smooch it, and then I'll Photoshop my face on it.
I think it's not that he could take Son's role. I think it's that he could motivate Son, because now Son has a guy who he knows if he gets subbed on in his position, he could actually perform and score goals. Like, Richie isn't a winger. He's played there, but he's a striker, man. He needs to play as a striker. He's always played best either as a lone striker or in a front two. He needs to be playing there. And so, and I think the squad know that. I think it's obvious to everyone that Richie's a striker and not a winger. And I think Son...
The World Cup made that obvious.
Well, watch how sensible he drifts in when he plays.
Yeah. And I think Son would be more motivated with a true like winger behind him who could push, not realistically he's not going to take a spot, but he could push him to be like, hey, now there's a guy on the bench where if I'm not playing well, I'm going to get taken off. Like, I'm definitely going to get taken off. Like, a lot of times Decky would be taken off before Son, even if he was having a good game, for Richarlison to come on. So
that's a good point.
So I feel
What's
like
up, Dan, bro? Big up.
Yeah.
Big up, Dan, bro.
Yeah.
Post Son and Kane, Mbappe and Holland. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's go, full bull. I fucking love it.
I think that man, it's gonna be tough. So like, what do you guys think?
So let's think about that for a second. I know this has nothing to do with Spurs. In my career mode, sorry, Colin, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just real quick, what I did, Man United came calling for Harry Kane. I sold him for 170 mil, and then I just moved Sonny to striker. I put him as a central forward, and then with that money, I went and bought Leao, put him on the left. Sonny is the striker. Kulu on the wing. Seems to be going decently fine.
Well, what
sorry,
I'm
Colin,
saying
what
is,
were you saying?
oh, okay. So in this hypothetical world without Son and Kane, have we let both of their contracts run out, or did we sell either of them? And if we did, how much money did we get? That really makes a difference on who we have to replace them. I feel like. My beautiful wife is over there in the other room. Shout out to Beth.
Shout out Beth.
Hey.
Jacob says, Jacob, that's the funniest thing I've heard. What's the funniest thing? What did I say? Did I say something funny?
Everything you say is funny, my guy.
He's talking about selling Kane and buying Leao, playing Son as a striker. In FIFA, it makes sense. In FIFA, it works. Because in FIFA, like, the fastest players are just always the best.
No,
basically.
That's not true. No,
it is true.
Tyler says we can't give up yet on Richie.
Dude, when I play Spurs, use Spurs in FIFA, I just start Jed Spence, despite him being like much lower rated than Emerson or Doherty. He's a lot faster, and just by that alone, he's better because it's FIFA.
Mark Swift is 50-50 on Richie. 50-50 on Richie. You know what? I want to get a poll going.
He needs to play as a striker.
Where we're at with Richie.
Really, what it is.
Because we got, let's see, 18 watching, 21 likes. I like that. 21 votes. I like that. We don't have no hating ass motherfuckers tonight. Let's go. Ain't a single. What were you saying? Sorry, Karen.
Sorry,
Can I start hating?
Pinned at the top, Elias.
What was Richie's best game? What was his best game playing for us so far?
Marseille Champions League, the brace.
And what formation did we play in that game?
Something 2.
3-5-2, and he played up top. Yeah, I'm just saying, man.
And he had 2 headers. But see, the thing is, he's getting service into the box, and there were 2 headers. Yep. And honestly, get the fuck in.
That's what I'm saying.
Get the fuck in. Yeah, the link is at the top of the chat, Elias. Some bloke, big up some bloke. Says a replacement for Son will be found in the future, but if Kane leaves, Richarlison will be his replacement, even if only for 2 years. Big up some bloke. I don't think I've seen that name in the chat for quite some time, but big up yourself. Big up Tyler. Real quick, before I keep going through these comments, which keep them coming because big ups everyone in the comments. I got a special. With Paul.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
What's cracking, mate? How you living?
Yeah, I'm just lying in bed.
Big up, Paul.
What's up, Paul? How you doing, mate?
What's up, man? How you going? All right?
Hey, it's all right, isn't it?
We're getting some big up Beth in the chat.
Deadline day's approaching. It's lots of fun, isn't
it? we need a fucking wheeler dealer, mate.
Yeah.
We need Harry Redknapp on the job. I'm losing it. My accent's. I'm becoming Australian. But no, we
big
need,
up the Americanca says, "What's up, Jacob? Yay for Porro, bro. We are in the presence of YouTube royalty right now, so everyone will be on their best behavior."
She's probably been here. I wasn't even being a good person.
Real quick, Paul, I want to catch your turn. We have another guest that I want to welcome in a second, but Paul, before I bring him in, let me ask you, Pedro Porro. Here we go. How are the pants, my friend?
Well, is it here we go yet? I mean, it's not.
Yeah. It's here we go like 8.
Show him the plane. Show him the plane. Show him the plane.
Okay, we're going to show him the plane. We're showing him the plane. Hold on. We're showing. There's the plane. It has landed. That was like 2 hours ago now.
Somebody tracked his flight. His flight.
He did an interview in the airport on his way before getting on the plane.
And at the airport in Portugal. So he's touched down by now. So what are we thinking? How are the pants?
Well, he's got to do his medical, isn't he? He's probably got a cleft anus or a rubber spine or some shit or something, you know.
See how
Something that'll fit.
traumatized we are. See how
I know.
traumatized we are as Spurs fans.
His toes are too long. His toes are too
Yeah,
long. He can't play
right.
football with his toes.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, I don't. You know, I haven't really been getting too much involved in all the transfer stuff because even when we do buy players, you don't know until they're on the pitch whether it's been good or not. So, I mean, I suppose Porro should be an upgrade over what we've got, and Danjuma should be an upgrade on the backup forwards we've got. So I'd say the transfer window is slightly positive. You know, a 6 maybe. If you say 5 has no effect on the squad, a 6 is a little improvement. But with a centre back, it would have been a 7 or an 8. But we might have to wait until summer and see what shit's going on then.
Real quick, for me, I've been saying if we get the Porro deal through the line, which it looks as though we are, I've said a 5 out of 10, and I'm saying that because it does. A 5 is high because it's impacting the 11, in my opinion. Which is, I think I gave the summer window a 4 out of 10, which is because I felt like it slightly, barely affected the starting 11, which is kind of what I want to see. Danjuma doesn't do that, so I give it a 1 for Danjuma. But Pedro Porro, I feel like that's a 4. So I'll put the 2 together. If we get those 2 done, that's a 5. We get a center back in, depending on the name, depending on the position they're going to play. I could bump that up to a 6 or a 7. I mean, but if you go get like 2, shit, we talking 8 or 9, because as long as we can bench Eric Dyer, but honestly, I don't think that's going to happen.
I just wanted to say that while we're giving it ratings, like for me,
Big up
I
Mark
said
Swift.
if all we get is Danjuma and Porro, for me it's a 4. And the reason is I agree with you, Jacob. I would actually, in isolation, I would rate the window as a 5. The problem is we have the 15th worst defense in the Premier League. We need a center back, and we don't need it now. We needed it in this past summer. So for me, it's a 5 -1 for not if we don't get a center back that can at least compete with Eric Dyer.
The fact that there's no competition, that he's like maybe Longley, maybe here's if we don't get a center back pairing, here's something that I'm gonna propose. What about Tanganga at the right center back? I like what I seen. I mean, I know it's Preston. I gotta temper myself.
In the middle.
Romero in the middle, where he won Serie A Defender of the Year.
But no, but Jacob, Atalanta, when in that back 3, they play it totally different. It's an inverted version of how we play the back 3, because the way we play it, that left center back or right center back, depending on the phase of play, will overlap, and the central one is always the deepest center back. Atalanta played it the opposite way, where the 2 would hang back and Romero would press in. And he would press in midfield, and he'd push up and step up and make plays, and he'd also carry the ball forward. So it's like when he played in the center there, it's the opposite of how we play it. So I don't think he works in the Conte system in the center. I think he'd be too aggressive, and it would be dangerous, I think, in terms of like balls getting in behind. You need somebody who's going to kind of stay.
With Elias is black screen. Well,
but
there
wait,
you go.
They're not on their thing. Take him out and put him back in.
There he goes. He left. I didn't even take him out. Sorry, Kieran. Go ahead with what you were saying. I didn't mean to.
Well, I'm just saying, like those passes over the top and those line breaking through balls and stuff, like, you know, that stuff becomes dangerous if you don't have a player that's really meant to kind of sit and cover and be a little more passive. And like technically Dyer fits that profile, but I mean he's just not good. So like,
yucky.
I think we just need to sign a player that is really cheap and useless, but just happens to be a bigger ass kisser than Eric Dyer, so he can be straight into Levy. Yeah, undermining him. So, Daniel, I see. Eric only put 2 sugars in your tea. I think you got that wrong, And then before you know it, Eric Dyer will be on the outer, and we can get a replacement for him.
See, Paul, this is what I've said all along. This is why Eric Dyer's still here, because in the summer times, in the off season, he goes and cleans Daniel Levy's pool for him.
Oh, more sun cream there, Mr. Levy.
Do you
What's that
like two
straight
quarter
down?
sizes or two dime sizes, Mr. Levy?
Just imagine him rubbing it all over his head.
All over that
Oh,
bald
God.
head. Oh God, squeaky, squeaky. Cubes, I agree. Should have brought Porro in. Paul, I want to ask you: is this a deal we should have done 1st of January?
I can just see C Cubed comment there. I agree. Like, so there's a good, 6 to 9 points that maybe we could have got 4 or 5. And this is the thing. Let's just say it's 3 points difference this has cost us. Then at the end of the season, that could be a place. It could be 2 places. Well, that's a few $1 million in difference in prize money. So to me, it's pretty poor business to do that. Plus, if those 3 points get you outside of the top 4 or inside, that's a huge difference. But
what about the fact that they said they wouldn't sell till after the cup, and that Pedro Porro had to play the cup final?
Well, didn't he have the release clause, and then there was a rumor that wasn't activated till the summer? Or so? They should have just bought the. I
just heard that they had a stipulation where he had to play in this cup final that was like a couple of days ago, or else they weren't going to sell him at all. But that could be something I heard that wasn't true. I know I heard it, but
yeah.
I guess I don't know the validity. I don't know for sure if it's true, but that's something to think about.
Well, we'll only know when we see him play. I mean, if he makes his debut against City and he's crap, then he won't have made any difference. But if he has a blinder, then we know. Say if we draw or win that game, heaven forbid, then it's made a difference, hasn't it?
Right, and a lot of play probably goes up his side or something. Yeah, that should be a big kick in the nuts for sure.
Elias, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Actually, I'm in my office.
Okay.
So I'm just quickly jumping in here while doing my work.
Well, cool. While we got you, tell me your opinions on the Pedro Porro deal. Hold on. This is going to be customary for the evening. Gonna have to show you this, my friend. Pedro Porro. His plane has landed. That's the photo of it. So
Yeah, I saw that photo.
there you go. Make of that what you will. He's in London.
I saw the interview as well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, how do you feel? Are you excited about the signing? Do you think it's a bad should
I am
have
excited.
taken this long?
His stats are good. That's definitely it's something that we needed because his stats are good, not just in the league itself, but even in Champions League. He has had for 23 games. Actually, he has 13 goal involvements for a right wing back. Is not bad for 1 year. And I'm definitely excited for that sort of a player who can actually fill in that right wing if really he can. I would actually start him over anybody right now in our team, but I don't think Conte will start him for the City game. He might come in as a sub. But definitely, I'm excited for that signing.
Could you do me a favor real quick, Elias? Could you turn your mic gain up a little bit? I don't mind if you talk softly. Could you just turn your gain up a little bit? I was having a hard time hearing you. I don't know if I was the only one.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's a little better.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Yeah.
Is it better now? Because I'm using the Bluetooth mics.
Yeah, it's better now.
I'm now in my room. Yeah. So until where you could hear me just now?
No,
Yeah.
Until where you could hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're good.
So-
Now you're good.
Yeah, I was just saying that actually it's pretty exciting deal, but I don't think he will start for the City game given Conte doesn't really start players immediately when they come in. So I think we might see Emerson again for the last time in the starting 11 until maybe Porro comes in and stuff. But I think
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. Okay, maybe we're just so bad at the position that not start the City game. I think that's a little soon because he's only going to train twice tops, maybe, assuming we get this deal done. So I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to just throw him in. But you know what? If we're getting smashed or if it's tight, why not give him a run of 15 minutes? Let the fans.
He'll
clap
get the standard 7. You won't get 15. You know
Think so?
Conte. You know Conte.
I think it might get more than that. I think Conte realizes this guy's a a good player, and he knows he's going to be an upgrade over what he's got.
Well, and I mean,
Massive
I know
upgrade.
it's a cup game, but he played New Dog. Well, I'm losing his name, but they played him first match.
Juma.
So,
Yeah,
Dan
Juma right away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, maybe he's open to
But
doing
the Juma came
that.
as a
Maybe,
sub. Even. He came
but I
as a
mean,
sub. I mean, it was not an important game like City game.
Yeah, it's also like that was kind of like a run out for him. You know, it's like almost like a training session. That Portsmouth game, like they had, I mean, those guys, they didn't stand a chance. It was clear the entire game that they were terribly outmatched. So, you
They were
know,
almost
Right.
just hanging on that entire first half, right?
yeah.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
was
they
thinking
did a
back- I
good
was
job
thinking back, it was
defensively to hang
it was-
on in the first half, but I mean, they never threatened on the counter. Really, they never looked like scoring. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking back. It was they did have, like you said, a couple of good counters. What's the name of that kid in the midfield? I was thinking about him just like they
Philly ain't some from Philly. How you doing? You're not your Philadelphia Eagles heading to the Super Bowl, but that's not your team because you're probably Giants, if I remember correctly. But big up Philly. Sorry, continue with what you're saying. I just wanted to shout out Philly.
Oh, I'm saying there was somebody in midfield, and I couldn't tell. I can't tell anyone's age these days. Everyone just seems like they're my age, which is 30. But there was a guy in the midfield.
They're younger than you.
That was doing some nice little cutbacks. Holding the ball up, like receiving the ball in midfield, holding it for like a second, shaking a defender and playing passes. Anybody know who that man was by chance?
Yeah, I could-
Morel. You're talking about Morel, I think.
I think
Joe
so.
Morel.
Yeah.
He plays
Yeah.
for Wales. He's like he plays a
Okay.
lot for Wales.
I got time for that guy. Like, he's not Tottenham level good, but he's better than where he's playing. You can tell he's clearly like, I feel like playing a step down. I don't know, but he could probably get on a better championship.
What did you
team.
say his name
yeah,
was?
Joe Morel. Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
see
he could.
Joe Morel on the team.
Is it?
I'll look him up. I think he might have been number 10.
Are you sure?
No.
Number.
Is he for Portsmouth?
Were you talking about Preston? Or wait, were you talking about Portsmouth?
Oh wait,
No.
Preston. That's right. Oh gosh,
I was like,
I
don't
forgot who we
see.
fucking played for a second.
Here, I
No.
can pull up the.
Number
That's how
10 was
boring
Daniel
that game
Johnson.
No, okay, it was
How
dude.
boring
Right,
that game was.
it was McCann.
McCann.
Oh, Ali McCann. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Ali McCann was good, and
Yeah.
then there was one more good player. Ali McCann was great, and I also
Ooh,
thought that. that
Look at his
Kane was-
passing. He's 92% with his passing. 22,
I think he
24.
He plays
One
for
key
told you.
pass.
Bro, I told you.
92 is PEDRO PORRO.
Yeah.
Northern
Told
Oh,
Ireland.
that's not bad.
Told you he was good, man. And how old is he in real life? 23 years old. I don't know, man. Maybe he could do it.
Oh
He
yeah,
doesn't
wait. Now I know where I know Ali McCann from. He's been a player in like FIFA over the last few years, where he's like a cheap, like like signing
Yeah.
for like a Premier League or Championship club that has high potential or whatever. That's where I know him from FIFA. Yeah, yeah. But no, he had a good game. Yeah, for them.
Against like a pretty much full strength Spurs. I mean,
Yeah.
not quite, but our midfield was full strength.
We didn't
Yeah.
attack with a lot of urgency in the first half. I thought we were
Bro.
we were just
By the end of the
dull,
season, can we make like a thing? And if we continue being sluggish and slow and dull in the first half, and then attacking in the second half, we have to reevaluate whether or not that is a tactic rather than a
the only
symptom.
game we haven't is Man City for some
And
reason.
we got boned, and I think Conte was
Yeah.
like, "See, he was like, see, guys, that's why we don't do that, because this team can't do that. This team, we can't."
I don't think he said that at all. I don't think that. No, I never thought he said that.
He didn't
I
say
think
that with his words. He said it with his eyes.
Colin, will you take
No, I
control
don't
while
think
I go get some water and go for a restroom break? And before I do that, I see some of you have dipped out of the scenery, but if you have not yet, please do hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are on the road to 600 subs, and we are 10 away. Yep, still 10 away from doing that. Also, take part in the poll because I will be closing it and starting a new poll on the new subject that I do want to talk about later. But Colin, just switched to the second camera, double action feature with Mr. Sievers. Did you like how I rhymed that there?
That was beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful, just like you. But I'm switching cameras again.
Wow, it's like he's in a studio.
Who, me? Or there he
Colin.
is. Action
Camera
news.
1, camera 2.
Ready, camera 2. And take camera 2.
Action.
That used to be my job. Hey, that used to be my job. I used to be a camera guy, and they'd be like, yeah, and that's pretty funny. But anyway,
that was one of my favorite things that I did in my. I always loved directing shows. Those are fun because you're the boss. Everyone has to listen to you. That's a lot of fun.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, I directed in college.
Ready, camera 2, and take camera 2.
And then you'd be like, camera 2, your shot's messed up. Fix your camera 2. Camera 2,
can you check your focus?
Yeah, camera 2. Oh, camera 2, you asleep? Camera 2.
Anyway,
you can lock. You can lock.
You were talking Spurs before I rudely interrupted, but I just need 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, go for it. I got this, man. I got this. So I would like to hear you guys' idea on what you think's gonna happen. I know we kind of talked about it, but like, Kane's gonna leave and Son's gonna leave. Do you think we're gonna sell either of those two guys, or do you think that they're gonna just kind of run their contracts down at Spurs until they're pretty much worth nothing significant? I guess we can start. We start with Elias.
I think a bit too early to say Kane and Son are gonna leave. Let's see what happens. If let's say, who knows, if we win FA Cup, it might motivate them a little bit. I mean, we get Conte to sign the contract after a trophy like that. Because looking at the situation, the kind of draw even we have got now for the 5th round, I think FA Cup is possible. You go into quarters, and let's say one other team is out, you really have a chance to go in and win FA Cup. So why not? I mean, it all depends on some. I think 1 or 2 trophies. I think if let's say we do a good run in Champions League and play good in FA Cup, qualify for Champions League again next year, I don't think then you have to worry too much about Kane and Son going out. But if they were to go out, I think the first would be Kane, definitely. So we will have to look for a club to sign him and sell him if really needed in summer. If really we have a poor run in the next few months, I think then we have to. Kane would want to leave, Conte would want to leave, and eventually Son would want to leave as well. I can see Kane leaving very much because now if he has Jamie Greaves' record and he has achieved basically a lot of things that he can in the Premier League, he may want to go to another team and clear some other records in Premier League itself. But who knows? Anything is possible.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I agree. The things you hear though about Kane, wanting to sign an extension and feeling like after his summer thing and all the hate he got and how much he's loved at Spurs, has decided he wants to stay. I don't know how much of that's like fan service by journalists. Carrion, what do you think, man? Do you think we're gonna get any money for either of these guys, or do you think they're gonna stay here forever?
So I think Son is definitely here till the end of his 5-year contract, and that's because Son is more valuable to Tottenham, not just as a player, but as a brand, as a kind of like a commercial asset. The amount of money he brings into this club and so many different revenue streams it's incredible. You got like a third of the nation of South Korea essentially being Spurs fans and buying Spurs merch and stuff and traveling to the UK, going to Spurs games. The Korean people living in the UK going to Spurs games, supporting Spurs, all because of Son. And the amount of money and exposure it gets the club is bigger than any transfer fee that any club in Europe would ever be willing to pay for Son. So he's here till the end of his 5-year contract, and given his age, I think by that time he'll probably end up either retiring or wanting to like go back to South Korea to play there to end his career or something. You know.
We have a good comment here
But-
from CQ.
Son will never leave. Yeah, Levy's. Yeah, exactly. You know, the only way he leaves is like on a free at the end of his 5-year contract.
So I guess what I'm saying is, what does that do to our ability to replace those guys? Because when most teams lose a great player, they lose them for cash and they replace them.
Yeah,
we haven't had enough money to sign Skriniar for 20 million this window. So
Yeah.
how are we going to come up with adequate money to sign adequate replacements for Kane and Son? Not. It's gonna be Richarlison and freaking Danjuma.
Well, I think the Kane thing is different than Son though, because Kane only has 1 year after this year on his contract, just next season, and then he could leave on a free. And the thing is, Kane's future at Tottenham, I believe, is totally tied to Conte's future at Tottenham. So Kane will stay if Conte stays. If Conte leaves, Kane will refuse to sign a new contract. And then it's up to Levy whether he is willing to sell him in the summer or if he lets him walk on a free after next season. I think if you let him walk, it would be a massive backlash with the fans, and
it would set a bad precedent within the club too.
Exactly, and it would be missing out on a decent amount of money for the club.
But have you not heard the rumors from like pretty credible journalists that he's gonna sign a new contract?
That's why I'm starting to think that I'm starting to think that maybe we all overreacted a little bit, and that maybe Conte is willing to stay.
I mean, sometimes it could just be a matter of journalists needing some clicks.
But that's true as well.
Listen, and we are all like the type of people that get.
Conte stays. If Conte signs a contract and he stays, I think Kane will as well.
Can we all agree though that we're all the type of people that get a little too worked up about shit, and so like we hear some stuff and we're like when in reality, I mean maybe. We didn't need to at all. We could have just talked and
I think a lot of it.
I don't think the sky is falling like some Spurs fans seem to think.
I think a lot of it has been Conte too, and how he speaks in press conferences. And
I'll agree with that.
I think the thing is he's just an emotional guy, and I think he, gets upset after losing games. He doesn't like losing. He's not used to losing, and I think he says a lot of shit. And I think sometimes we place a lot more weight and importance on some of the things he says than maybe is warranted, and I think that's what's also scared everybody. I mean, of course there's the contract situation, but there are conflicting reports on whether he's even been offered an extension to sign by the club yet, because the club can trigger an extension and all he has to do is agree to it. And I've seen 1 or 2 reports that say the club has, and I've also seen other reports that say there's no evidence to suggest that they have put forth.
Big up Jayco, official supporter, member of the Patreon of the channel. They are an official supporter, and they have a beautiful question for us. So big up yourself, Jayco. I hope you're having a beautiful, lovely evening. Jayco says, question of the panel, would you sign with Levy if you were Kane? If I'm Kane, I'm breaking the Spurs all-time scoring record and riding off into the sunset, knowing I accomplished all that I can with that team. And I would then go to either United to break Alan Shearer's record, I believe it is, or Rooney. I'd go over there and then I'd break that fucking record and then try and win some trophies while you're over there, because that's a club that's going to financially back you to do that. So that's what I'm doing if I'm Kane.
And that's
or fuck it, if my family's down to go to Germany, could you imagine if your family's like, oh shit, we want to go Guten Tagen and fucking. I know, but the later hosen.
Germany's trash. Germany's trash. I hate it there.
Don't say that.
Everyone's mean.
Don't say that. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? A whole country's Look, now there's 10 people watching. There was
You know how much-
17 people watching. You said
Do you know how
some
German I am?
blasphemous-
I'll pull up my ancestry. I went to go visit my family. That's why I went.
Well, regardless, that's just a
we're a mean group of people.
Okay.
If I include myself, does not make it okay. Does not make it
understand
okay.
No.
Anyway.
Moving along, if I'm Kane and my family's down to go to Germany and get a big tall ass beer, I'm down. Lederhosen are cool. I think he'd be a hoot, and he'd definitely win some trophies if he went to Munich. But if I'm Kane and I'm living in his shoes, then I would want to go to United and break that record. So that's my answer for that.
I think you're right, Jacob. I think, if he does end up leaving, the only place he could go is really Manchester United, because it's the only club that's a step up from Spurs that wouldn't be seen as a massive betrayal, and Manchester City has Haaland, so they don't need Kane anymore.
Can I say something real
Kane
quick,
got
too?
Weghorst, which is kind of a stopgap. Like, we'll wait for you, Kane, with Weghorst.
Oh, you mean United? You said Kane. You said Kane got him. But hey, I just wanted to say to any German people out there, I actually love Germans. I don't know why.
Well, they're not watching now. They already left, Colin. It's too late to apologize.
They're gonna rewatch because they're gonna want to see what I said so they can send it to the courts.
Oh, that's right. They're gonna want to clip you. You're right.
Cancel court.
Do you guys ever think Sonny will be let go by Levy? I think if he truly wants gone, he will. And Levy will have to look for another cash cow. Quite frankly, because Son's going to want trophies too. He's going to get to a point where he's like Kane as well. How much more can I do for you? Spurs have the money, just ain't spending it. Paul, I haven't heard your sweet voice in quite some time, so I'm going to ask you, do we have the money and we just ain't spending it? It's like we're at the club and we brought all that ass, but we ain't shaking it. Why are we at the club and we ain't shaking that ass, Paul?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like, when's the financial reports coming out? What's that going to show? As for Kane...
Why has it been delayed?
Yeah, as for Kane, it depends what motivates the guy. Mate, because there's a lot of noise about, Kane hasn't won a trophy and all this shit. Maybe that's something that Kane doesn't really worry about. It might be his priority that he just loves playing for Tottenham. Maybe that will make him re-sign. If we just show him some signs of some sort of hope, we give him something like maybe a deep run into the FA Cup or Champions League, or he might want to win a trophy. I don't know. But either way, good luck to the guy. He's papered over some cracks in our squad for quite a few years now, and he deserves a bit of success wherever he is. Hopefully that's at Tottenham. That's
kind of my feelings exactly about it. Is just I would like to see him get some trophies, and then if Conte's saying verbatim that my job is not to win anything, it's just to compete and improve the squad, that's a red flag for me, and I'm feeling not great about the future. So especially if I'm Kane, I'm definitely trying to get out of there.
There was a Conte press conference recently where he was talking about Harry Kane and winning cups for him. It was probably the week before we played in the FA Cup against Preston, and I took that as a sign that maybe Conte is going to focus a bit more on cups as we go further in. And, say if his contract is up at the end of the year, then he's not going to really give a shit. Would he really, want to finish fourth, or would he prefer to win a cup? And I think Conte is a kind of a cup guy. He seemed to have a little glint in his eye when he talked about the cup and Kane. So I'm taking a bit of heart from that.
Oh, we're winning it. We're winning a cup, and I think it's going to be the Champions League Cup.
Yes, come on, you Spurs. Get in there, son.
I love it. I'm all for it, but I do think that's a little deep end. That's a little...
All right, explain yourself.
Cup,
explain
bro,
yourself.
Because the
FA Cup
is
too. You don't
definitely the most logical one right now.
Both. We're not gonna qualify for the league next year through our position. We're gonna qualify through winning the Champions League, and we're gonna win the FA Cup. We're gonna win the League Cup.
Levy would sack Conte before any of that could happen.
No, he would not.
Yes, he would. He
No,
did it
he
with Jose.
would not.
He
I know,
sacked
but
Jose.
that's not Conte, buddy.
He's gonna sack him, bro. He's gonna sack him. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna sack you.
I'm just looking forward to seeing Davison Sanchez lift the FA Cup as our new captain.
Okay, how was he chosen as captain over Sonny?
It's a mystery to me. When I think of the captains that have, that have been at Tottenham, like Danny Blanchflower, Dave Mackay, Steve Perryman, Gary Mabbott, Ledley King, and then you bung in fucking Davison Sanchez into that list. I mean, I can't. It doesn't fit into my brain. That really doesn't. But
you know who else is on that list? Is Ben Davies.
Oh, fuck off, man! Come on.
Ben Davies, best player at Spurs. One of Spurs' best players right now. Most consistent. Ben Davis.
It's 50-50 if he even starts. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and when he starts, he never makes a mistake.
Blasphemy.
I just thought Bentancur maybe, because he directs a lot in midfield. So maybe, although maybe he's not a leader, I don't know, but he seems to be in the centre of a lot of things.
Yeah, why not? And that's
not more than Davison Sanchez
or Perisic. Perisic likes to bark.
Perisic, yep.
I mean, I know he ain't been here long, but he's been around a few blocks. He's got to offer some kind of leadership. He's always yelling at people too, so I don't know. What's up, Ryman's son? Ryman. Y'all go ahead, Paul. No, go ahead.
I am feeling pretty good about the FA Cup, and maybe it's because because people talk about is the FA Cup as the magic worn off, and I think it depends how much of an interest you take. Like this year, I've been watching a lot of matches, and there's been some nice upsets and drama and stuff like that. So I'm getting a bit of that FA Cup magic back into my blood, and I think the signs are good for Tottenham. We've got another relatively easy draw. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, Wrexham or Sheffield United are not shitty teams. They seem to have a bit of fire about them. But, after this round, there's 7 Premier League teams left? It's starting to whittle down a bit. Maybe it's our year. You never know.
That's the thing. It's fun that you mentioned that you've been watching more FA Cup, because honestly, I have as well. Just because Wrexham specifically, obviously, Deadpool FC. I'm gonna tune in, and that game against Sheffield, the first one, was so fun. It was such a fun game. That the fact that we drew them, it just seems like I just want to see Ryan Reynolds hugging Son and Kane and Conte with Ryan.
No, it's not. It's not Deadpool FC. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia FC.
That's
and
gonna
Rob
be
McElhenney
that's controversial.
Is way better than Ryan Reynolds.
That's controversial. My wife hates Ryan Reynolds.
Hey, we don't say controversial. We don't say controversial stuff on this show. That's one thing that is a fact. No controversy here.
I don't.
Okay,
okay, yeah.
I'm just fine.
What were you saying, Paul?
Yeah, you had Stevenage with that result against Aston Villa as well, and I found that funny because they show all the stats from the game, or in the second half it would have the percentage chance of winning, and it had like Stevenage 2%, and then bang bang they're through. So just shows you how much statistics work. Sometimes they only tell you what's happened, not what will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Stevenage.
That's very well said.
Wow.
Big up Rex. Rex is in the house, popping up in the chat. Elias, I ain't heard from you. Are you there?
He said he was working in the background in the chat.
Sorry, he's working.
Gosh, man, read your chat.
What chat? The private chat?
Yeah, buddy.
My fault.
Gosh.
Rex agrees with Paul. The FA Cup is a huge trophy still. I really want it this year. Rex, I do too. This is our easiest pathway to a trophy, in my opinion, is the FA Cup.
This is our year.
It's gotta be. It's
coming home.
It's coming home. It's coming home, y'all. It's coming home. I want to put a poll up, but I'm feeling kind of lazy. So
like a stripper pole. I want to put a pole up in my house.
no, not a stripper pole, like a poll for the chat.
I used to work with a fella who had one of those in his house. He said that he used to always go to the strip club and then figured why not just make his house the strip club. And he said he had parties and girls would dance. He was a college age guy. I was like, man, do you smart guy. Why pay to go to the strip club?
In a very different kind of way. We've just hit 2 hours, so if you're still rocking with us, big up yourself right now. And I'm actually, I didn't plan on going too much longer tonight. It's getting pretty late for me, so if anyone didn't have anything else that they really wanted, that was a burning desire. I really just wanted to get on here and talk about Pedro Porro and kind of feel everyone out. Is there anything that anyone wants to say before we end this thing? Oh, Mia, what's up? What's up, Mia? We're about to end this thing. I'm so sorry. But
you have something I would like to say, if possible. I just want to say that I'm calling it right now. That Bissouma is going to be clutch for us. He's going to come in. I swear to God, there's so much of what he does and even his like body shape and like size and like he reminds me so much of Chadley. And Chadley would come off the bench and would score goals. And while this guy might not like be super involved in like build up and stuff, I've never watched him, but I know for a fact he'll come off the bench and score goals. So can we just like call it right now? We've got this. It's the right at 2 hours and 2 minutes. Bissouma is going to be an impact player for us and a starter by next season. We're gonna buy him.
That's what you're calling?
Yeah, I'm calling.
Is that what you're calling? Get it?
And I'm also calling. Yeah.
Yeah, get it?
Hey, real quick, can I plug my new show?
Of course. Do you have the link?
No, never mind. You're right.
Get the link and
tell
me what it is. And
we'll just do it next time.
No, get the
nope,
link.
Nope. I'm just gonna get everybody excited, and I'm gonna
get the link.
This.
You're at 2 minutes and 2 because there you go.
Football Fanatics.
Did you just search that as one word or like what's the deal?
Yeah, so just search that as one word, and then if you don't find it, just wait for me to get the YouTube channel all figured out.
So it seems like an odd time to really promote a channel.
You ever just get the hype about something? Like people are like, wow, I heard Colin's gonna do a channel. And what's cool about Football Fanatics is I have a lot of friends who also like football. And they support different teams than just Spurs, and so this gives me a chance to kind of like broaden my horizons and and kind of get the fan experience from some other fans of other teams. So I'm excited about that. I think it'll be really cool. I'll have more info soon, so if you just hang out with Jacob, we'll give everybody like the info as soon as he gets it. I'm sure.
That's a nice little teaser. This feels like at the end of like Godzilla, where they're like Godzilla's winking at the end after the credits, and they're like, oh, Godzilla 3 is coming, just wait on it. And then you're waiting, and it could be 5 months, it could be 5 years, you don't quite know. But that's fun. Keep it locked here. You'll find out here, I'm sure. Kyrian, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you got to say Colin, is there anything else you want to say other than footy Football Fanatics?
Football Fanatics, Bissouma. I love you guys. It's always, as always, it's good to hang out and be a part of one of these pop-ups. And also, I want to say Ben Davis is our best defender.
It's Eric Dyer all day long.
I knew you were.
Ben Davis is over. Ben Davis is over Dyer. Ben Davis is over. He's over Romero at current Romero state.
Jesus.
Current Romero is bad.
That's disrespect to Eric Dyer. I'm saying it out.
I think Ben Davis is bent over Daniel Levy's desk.
There's got to be something, or he's sold him property in Wales, and Levy now has like ownership in some kind of land in Wales. I don't know, because Ben Davies shouldn't have a job. Eric Dyer Not sure what he's on, but
He's probably on PCP.
Oh, hold up.
You get the joke.
What
happened?
do you have? Oh, big up Mia. Mia has plugged it. Mia has plugged it.
What's you plug?
Your YouTube channel.
She's here to correct me on Eric Dyer, I guess.
Your YouTube channel, bro.
Whoa.
Whoa is right, my friend.
What?
Apparently you have 2 videos.
I don't think that's me.
Y'all have the same fucking logo. Click the link, bro. Swear to God, click the link. That might be someone that we promoting someone else's shit right now.
We are. That's not me.
Big up, Mia. Look.
Big up for finding. Yeah, I look. That's weird. That's not me.
How is it not you if y'all literally have the same? That's creepy, bro. That's creepy.
It's really
big up
creepy.
Mia, for finding that.
The biggest of ups, but like find out who it is and ask him. I don't know. I have questions.
Anyway, we'll move along swiftly. Yeah, I know Mia is mad. Philly says, I knew Elias was the president of the Dyer fan club. I didn't realize Davies had a fan club. That is Colin to my left. He is. Kyrian, any final thoughts? You want to say anything about Porro or about, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, man, it's going to be nice to see some nice crosses into the box coming in from the right, you know. It'll just be nice to, like, see the right wing back get the ball and not feel like, oh, well, there's that attacking move done. Like, it's over now. Not going to score this time, you know? Just, yeah, I'm really hyped for him. He's a good player. I'm looking forward to it. And let's just cross our fingers and hopefully we can get a center back in on deadline day. I mean...
Okay,
and look, if we lose to City at the weekend, you know, it sucks. I don't want to lose. I want to win. But at the same time, if we do lose, at least they'll be within 2 points of Arsenal. You know, they'll be only 2 points behind Arsenal. So, you know, at least if we lose, we're hurting the scum at the same time. So.
Oh man.
Frick. I just got a red card in FIFA.
Congratulations. Paul, is there any final thoughts you have for me, my friend? Today's technically transfer deadline day.
Yeah, well, I'm not holding out any hope on that. I just thought it was fun to see Sol Campbell having his annual whinge like a bitch session about, oh, they don't forgive me. And then I'm hearing people saying, oh, well, you know, people shouldn't be singing songs about wishing him dead. That's not nice. It's like, oh, fuck off. It's just a song. It's not like some New Orleans juju is going to actually kill it. It's just a fucking song. So tough.
Hey man, you don't know nothing about that New Orleans juju, okay?
Paul, I fucking love it when you join. You always have such a great opinion. I can't think of one time you said something I've been like, what the fuck is Paul saying? So thank you so much for...
Yeah, big up, Paul.
Well,
and I agree with you. Fuck Sol Campbell.
Yeah, fuck Sol Campbell.
You'll have to get me on with Sean Butler sometime, because I find it hilarious how much I disagree with him about everything to do with football. But
I agree.
But it doesn't matter though, does it? I mean, it's just everyone just having, you know, talking shit and having an opinion. So who cares? But sometimes I hear him talk, and I'm just laughing at how can he be so opposite to me, you know? But I kind of like him, so it don't matter.
He's a good guy. Whatever your opinion on his football and his Tottenham opinions, I will say, to me, he's always been a stand-up bloke. Always been a wonderful dude to me. When he comes on, all he does is challenge my way of thinking, which to me is not an offensive thing. It is a growing thing. So he was actually on my Friday show, and that was quite an interesting Friday show. It was definitely a unique Friday show, not like the usual Friday show. But But yeah, big up Sean. I do definitely disagree with him on a lot of things, though.
Well, yeah, the only thing I find annoying about him is because if it turns out I'm wrong about something, that means he's definitely right.
Oh, yeah, that's not exactly how logic goes.
Well, it is unfortunate, but Paul, you don't have anything you want me? Do you have like a business page or something you want me to plug for you?
Fucking business page, man. Have you seen the state of me? Like, do I look like a fucking entrepreneur?
You look like you look like someone I might buy a 4-wheeler off of.
American Pickers. I'm like a guy with a big fucking barn full of shit.
What do you guys call 4-wheelers over there?
You rent out 4-wheelers or something.
Yeah, a ute or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
that's entrepreneur-ish. So,
I do. I'll plug one thing, and it's the best. It's the best punk song that you've never heard of.
Oh, hell yeah!
I haven't got a link for it, but you'll have to Google it. It's Surfing Up the Thames, and Thames is spelled Thames. It's the River Thames, which for international people, like at the beginning of EastEnders, is that shitty river that goes through London.
Spell it again.
Surfing Up the Thames, Thames.
Oh, the Thames.
Hey, I'll listen to that.
It's a fuck about song me and a mate did a few years ago. So it's nothing serious, but you know, it's a good.
Hey, I'll listen to that if you promise to listen to a song from me.
Oh yeah.
It's called Amon Smoko, and it's by a band called The Chats. CHATS. Amon Smoko.
Cool, man.
That's an Aussie.
Paul is elite
too,
level.
yeah.
Aussie. Paul is the Aussie Santa who swears a lot. Paul, you have a following wherever you go.
I have not said all the swear words. I haven't said my favourite swear word because I'm, I know that I'm speaking to people all around the world, but I've kept it quite clean, I think.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I always appreciate you coming on, Paul.
No,
Elias,
it's fun. I like listening to you guys,
Yeah. Hey, you're always welcome, Paul. If I'm ever at a party and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, can I see some ID?" I want you to know that if it's my party, I'm offended if they need to ask you for ID. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's it, man.
So that's how I feel about you, Paul. Thank you for popping up with Jacob tonight. Elias, it's been short and sweet. You did get to say the god-awful name, Eric Dyer. You are on mute. I got your link here. You're starting a channel as well.
I started it.
You have started it. Do you have any final thoughts? You want to what can anyone expect from your channel? Do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna do 2 videos this week. One, I'm gonna be doing a combined 11 for the City game with a friend of mine who's a City fan, and I'll be uploading it on Friday. Then I'm also doing one on fantasy football after the transfer window, just to wrap up some thoughts and some tips going into the new is it time to play wild card and all that. So that stuff is going to be up this week, so you can go on and hit the subscribe button. I've hit 60 subscribers. Once I hit 100, I'll start doing my live shows. It's set Step Up Spurs.
Okay, yeah, I put the link in the chat. You can check it.
I don't know if I'm already subscribed, but I will if I'm not.
Well, there it is, Colin.
Anything, man.
You and anyone else, you can click that link.
We'll get you guys on the panel as well once in a while.
Yeah, man. Wish it could be for longer. Unfortunately, it is a business day here in America. So I do gotta kiss the moon and say.
Wait, is it not a business day there?
It is business day here too. I'm in office.
Okay. See, the way you said that, I thought implied that it was not a business day.
I totally may have been implying that. I didn't mean to imply that it was not. It's business day anyway.
It is a business day here in the U.S. So
yeah. Here we go. Paul has dropped a link. He hit me with the link. If you want a song before you go to bed and after you subscribe to everybody, hit the link in the chat for Rex's song. Not Rex, sorry, Paul's song. Rex was hitting the chat. Rex got
Definitely
sandwiched.
not safe for work. In fact, it was played on a radio station once here, and they bleeped the first swear word out, but didn't obviously listen to the rest of the song. It was brilliant.
That's cool though. That's on the radio. That's actually really cool.
Oh,
I've never done
They-
anything nice enough for radio, so it's
I've
pretty
always wanted to
impressive.
make a pirate radio station. I've like looked into what equipment you need and stuff. I think it'd be really cool.
Well, you shouldn't announce that. That's not a thing you should announce, I don't think. Because I saw a movie on it, and they had to do it like
From a
on
boat.
the Red Sea or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna do it from like my attic, or like put it on a drone, put a small receiver on a drone and fly it.
Rex says very pleased to get Porro. Hopefully, Danjuma will contribute too. Same Rex. Same Rex. We did talk about it a little bit earlier in the evening. But big ups, Rex. I hope you have a great, beautiful day down under. Mia loves the Aussies, so you're getting a lot of love here in the chat. And, Rex says, all the best, Jacob. I declined to use big up, an annoying childish salutation. I actually never used to use this word until I started doing shows with people in the YouTube community, and it honestly caught on like wildfire, if I may. So apologies if it annoys you, Rex, but it's now like a part of my. I say it to people in my everyday now.
I'm not sorry. I mean, I guess I'm a little sorry, but like, why does it annoy you so bad, big dog?
Well, you know, some people have preferences, and I'm welcoming of all opinions as long as it's not like mean to anybody.
You know what? Me
hurtful
too.
or
Me too.
damaging,
Good point.
you know?
Good point. I take back what I said.
But thank you, everyone who has tuned in. Whether you're still here or you just tuned in, please go watch it back on delay or replay, whatever way you want to look at it. Flip it and reverse it. Missy Elliott, it don't matter. Go check out the link in the chat after this as well. Big ups if you're here. Hit the like. Make sure to hit the subscribe. We're 10 away from 600 subscribers, so we are well on our way. And then real quick, while I'm also on the way out, I'm going to go ahead and drop the Patreon link and say one more time, thank you, and big ups to all the members of our Patreon. Your names have been scrolling down below the entire show, the entirety of the show. And every time you comment, I make sure to get it up. And if it's a question, we will always talk about it. So hit that link, head on over, become a Patreon member if you're so interested. But if not, you know, $1 to $5 to whatever the club you can select. And then if you want to do the free option, you can just hit the like, hit the subscribe, and share as well. That does wonders for the channel. If you do the like, it's free. It doesn't cost you nothing but a couple of clicks of your fingers. So definitely do that for. Oh, big up, Hotspur. Perfect time to tell you.
Whoa!
Flip this thing on to the beginning. We big up yourself. I hope everything come out smooth, my friend. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are on our way out. And as always, pick up yourself, Bob Spur, on the toilet. And come on, you beautiful Spurs.
Come on, you beautiful Spurs.
How many Spurs?
Coys.
Come on, you Spurs.